I have been so so busy working on the audiobook for Jesus, the Eternal Bridegroom, that I'm past my deadline for making a YouTube video. This is one of the hardest things I've ever done. Let me show you when I'm done with it, I plan on publishing it through Amazon's ACX. And let's see if I can show you what I'm doing here. Let's see if I got this. Here's the ACX website. Okay, let's go ahead and log in. One project. So I've already started uploading my files because I wanted to make sure that they would take, that I was doing everything right. It's not easy to do this. Oh dear, what have I done? Oh, here we go. Okay, in production. It says, I'm in production. There it is, Jesus the Eternal Bridegroom, The Forbidden Abyss, Part 2, Volume 2. Okay, let's see here. Oh, there it is, full production. This is what I've uploaded 2 hours and 21 minutes and 14 seconds thus far. Let's see. And like when I go into edit, you can actually hear it. Here's the opening credits.
Jesus, the Eternal Bridegroom.
Here's the foreword.
Foreword. Acknowledgements. Jesus Christ is...
It's taken me forever simply because the requirements for doing this...
Introduction. Jesus Christ told Gail on September 1st.
I told myself that I don't have the equipment I need, and I'm using a USB webcam microphone, which they say is a big no-no. But Jesus told me only food and bills.
Jesus Christ on a UFO. Lori McBride would be executed.
Let me see how that's coming along.
Would it be over after that, and I could love my Gail in peace? I couldn't forgive myself that my body betrayed Gail, who put my heart...
Where is that? Oh, it's down here.
Even though Lori obtained my body through force and guile. I would have ended it all if not for Gail. I felt responsible for September 1992, even if Lori used drug rape to get me. I could only stare into the toilet and see the sewage my life had become, and I pronounced the sentence onto myself. I deserve to die.
Okay, here's the next chapter. Jesus and my Jesuit clone.
Jesus and my Jesuit clone. Malibu, California, September 1st, 2011. I had a headache the next morning after the UFO dropped me off at the Egyptian desert and slugged myself down the staircase. I scanned all the corners and slowed down before each entrance.
Oh, wrong way. There we go.
The bride was not here. Upon seeing a human sitting at my dining room table, I jumped. The hair was blonde like Lori, but it was Vladimir Putin.
Here's the Church of Gail. Okay, chapter. There's
Church of Gail. September 24th, 2011. My sweet wife. A very strange thing happened to me today. You know how you told me about the unusual phone calls you've been getting? Well, I got a phone.
You hear that rasp in my voice? I have spasmodic dysphonia, so that's like a medical condition. Now, I have like a total of 18 parts that I need to upload, and I'm right now just finished. Okay, let me go ahead and put this back over here. I have like 18 sections that I need to upload, and it takes me about 1 to 2 hours to read the chapter. I'm actually reading from my hardback because I find this the easiest to read from. And what I do is I get the microphone, the webcam mic, and I put it on top of this. This seems to give it a nice sound. And I'll get like a phone book, then put this on top next. Then I speak through this. This actually helps filter some of the like the mouth sounds, the saliva swishing around. And I've discovered this after doing some research online. So I'll put this here, put the mic in front of this, and then I'll speak like this through. And I try to get about 6 inches in front of the nylons. And I hold it up with this. I've been trying everything. I tried putting a sock over the microphone, and that kind of muffled it out too much. This works better. I still get a crisp sound. Then the other problem I have is when I start reading, Zach Knight attacks my voice and all this. Because I had this systemic yeast infection and I'm allergic to yeast toxin, all of the mucus goes to my vocal cords, and all of a sudden my voice starts going like this. He attacks me, and he causes me to get tongue-tied and tongue-twisted when I start reading. So I even wear a tinfoil hat now when I make the video, because he's using brain control on me, and it's affecting my reading. So I would say the hardest part about doing this is the mastering. Okay, so first you read it, and I'm not working with the best equipment in the world. And I about gave up. I said, I've been talking to Brent brain to brain because I haven't heard from him in a while. And he said it's because there's an important legal case going on and he can't talk to me right now. When it's over, he can talk to me. So he's been telling me, Gail, it wouldn't matter. He says, I know they recommend you get like a $200 to $600 microphone for the audiobook. But he said the way Zach Knight is so obsessed about your writings, it wouldn't make any difference. He said Zach would ruin it. He could even in fact, he'd probably have more fun with a more expensive mic. See, when I bought my Logitech webcam Pro 9000 back around 2010, no, it was 2011. That's when I bought it. Zach Knight wasn't obsessed with me as he is now. Apparently they thought that they could do me in with Laurie McBride, and they didn't need to get the top dog and the Jesuit order assigned, on me. So now Zach Knight's a computer genius. So anything, I did have to buy a keyboard, right? I bought a new keyboard because my other keyboard, I would type on the keys and it was gone. I read online somewhere Zach Knight was boasting that he put his semen on the keyboard, and he came into my apartment and put his semen. Maybe he did. I threw out all the old keyboards. This was before I read about him. But he's boasting that he put semen on the keyboard. Anyways, it only cost me about $13. So I figured that Jesus understands that I can't do anything without a keyboard, and I need my computer. So I don't think Jesus would be angry at me over getting a keyboard. But I know he would not want me to buy a $200 mic. For one thing, I can't afford it. And secondly, it's not a need, really. These files are uploading to ACX. Let me tell you, they have some pretty stringent requirements. They want the files to be, see if I can pull up their ACX submissions requirements. They want the files to be very done in a certain way. And that's because when they make an audiobook, people listen to the audiobook, they listen to it either with an MP3 file, or they might listen to it in iTunes. And here it is. It took me forever to figure out how to do this, because I'm not like a studio person. I'm not a DJ. It says right here, it has to be consistent in overall sound and formatting. And they want the audio levels, the tone, the noise level, the spacing, and the pronunciation to give the listener a great experience. And I'm trying very hard. They especially said don't have different volumes. So the volume has to be between -18 to -23 decibels. And it took me forever to figure out how to determine that. So I had to download Audacity and another program called FreeAct. And Audacity has been a lifesaver for me. I'm able to use Audacity. The first thing I do when I make an audio file is I put in a hard limiter, so that I do it for -3. I set it for -3. I've been playing around with these settings. I'm using the hard limiter so that to make sure that I follow their requirement for a, okay. Each uploaded file must measure between -23 dB and -18 dB RMS. You can figure when you go into Audacity and you go into the Analyze section and you hit, I think it's contrast, you can tell whether you're in that range. I'm never in that range the first time, so I always have to edit the the audio to get it usually more loud. And what I do first, I use the hard limiter to bring it to. Another thing they want is they want the, of course they don't want it. Oh, each uploaded file must have peak values no higher than -3 dB. By leaving this headroom, you'll reduce the possibility of distortion, which can seriously reduce the quality of the listening experience. It appears that if you do a web search on ACX audio submission requirements, you can read all their requirements if you're interested in making an audiobook. And they will not accept any audio files that don't meet their requirements. And it took me like a week to figure out how to do this using Audacity. First, oh man, I almost gave up about 20 times, but we're finally seem to be getting somewhere. They also want no sound. Okay, so first I record it. That takes about an hour. And I have water next to me because I'm constantly clearing my throat, which I remove all that during the editing part because I'm constantly clearing my throat and I have a spasmodic dysphonia. You hear that? That means the way the nerves going to my vocal cord are going like this. I've had this for years. Since I've been on Seroquel, it's gotten better. It was caused by the yeast infection. And okay, then I spent about 2 hours editing or less, depending on how bad the file is when I get it. I have to remove all the pops, the clicks, the mouse click sounds, all the mouth noises, any sniffles I made, anything in the background. I try to get it I turn off the air conditioning unit. I wait till it's quiet. Fortunately, my microphone does not pick up a lot of the outside noise, but it is picking up some. If it gets really loud, it picks it up. And if that happens, I just stop reading, wait for the noise to go away, like if it's an ambulance, woo, and then I just continue reading after that. Zach has been making lots of noise lately. And then I do the editing. That takes about 2 hours. Then I have to master it. Mastering is really tricky. That's where I go into Audacity. And I play with with the hard limiter, with the high limit, the low limit. And then I play around with equalization. Equalization, I found, is one of the best ways to get it where it needs to go. I'm learning not to do noise reduction. Noise reduction makes it sound distorted. So it's much more important to get a file that's already quiet in the beginning so you don't have to worry about noise reduction. So anyways, it's taking me, this has been the hardest, most challenging project, but as I listen to the audiobook, I think it's going to be worth it when we're done. And the readers are going to really appreciate hearing me read my writing because I do have a gift for expression, and I think this is going to really make my writing come alive. I'm even thinking of doing this with Silver Skies and maybe The Forbidden Abyss Part 1. I'll decide after I finish this one, but first we got to see if, I've been reading so much I'm losing my voice. First we have to see if ACX will accept my files. I'm not sure because they're really picky. I've been told it's impossible to make a good audiobook with the kind of microphone I'm using, so I'm going to see if I can beat the odds here.